It is the last week of the Wolfey Draft League, and your Jubilife Piplups are currently in the grand finals of the Wolfey Draft League, and we are currently 7-1 going into the grand finale. But in order to win the entire thing, we must take on the one opponent that has beaten us in this entire league, our one loss to the man himself, Mr. Wolfe Glick and his DC Parish team. And let me just say, this is not going to be an easy match. So we are bringing in all the tricks here. We are bringing in our full force, and hopefully we can claim the title of the Wolfey Draft League champion, as we would also be able to secure the Jubilife Piplups first ever Draft League championship. Let's break down the teams real quick, and then we're going to get into the actual team that we brought to the match against Wolfe. So if we take a look at the teams, we have our squad of Annihilate, Alola Ninetales, Cinderace, Kilowattrel, Crocodile, Blastoise, Hydrapple, Revavroom, Furret, and Duosion. Wolfe has his threatening team of the Arcanine Kanto form, Primarina, Glamora, Mamoswine, regular Hariyama, with the Noivern, Espafra, Trevenant, Venonat, and the Hisuian Sliggoo. Now, based on this composition, I have pretty much have decided that Primarina, of course, going to be the massive threat. As you look at my team, doesn't really have the best fairy answers. I only have one or two potential fairy resistance of the entire team, and it's not exactly the best answers. Primarina is going to be a massive threat against my team. The Glamora last time, we got destroyed by a weakness policy rock polish set. We do have the Mamoswine that's a huge threat to us, and of course that Wolfe will be able to find out the information of our team based on the frisk. So that is something that is going to have to be kept in mind. There's a lot of things I could see Wolfe doing. I think Primarina is definitely going to be one Pokemon that is going to come. I could see Arcanine being brought this time, even without the Intimidate. I could see a Flash Fire set with like Terra Fairy Play Rough, for example. I could see a lot of different modes he could go for. The Trick Room stuff, I could see the Trevenant being brought. We have a new Hisuian Sliggoo, which is different from the Dedene's brought. There's a lot that he can decide to go. And the mons I decided to eliminate to be brought into this match, I don't think Furret is unfortunately good here, because it is very one-dimensional and not really too helpful against the tools that I need to have on my team in order to be able to beat Wolfe. I did think about bringing the Hydrapple and the Crocodile. The Hydrapple was going to be a potential Pollen Puff and Bullet Seed set, but I felt like it's just really hard because Wolfe has so many good coverage options against the Hydrapple. It's really a sitting duck out there, and I do plan to bring a mon that is going to be using terrestrialization more than Hydrapple, so I don't think I can really afford to bring Hydrapple. Unfortunately, there's too much good coverage that Wolfe does have access to, and I decide to eliminate the Alola Ninetales, because even though Veil is great against Wolfe's team, it's not exactly easy to set up, especially with the Noivern that has many ways to shut it down, and also the Alola Ninetales doesn't exactly provide the best coverage against Wolfe's team. And also Wolfe has some pretty good defensive tools into the Alola Ninetales. So those three Pokemon I did eliminate immediately from being brought, and the remaining 7, let's see what the final 6 is that's going to be brought to the finals match against Wolfe. This is the final 6 that we are bringing to the Wolfey Draft League, and will be the team that we are bringing against Wolfe Glick. Now, I do want to say a huge shout out to my boy NJ11, who is one of my best friends and has helped me build with this team against Wolfe. We were literally constructing this team at the Las Vegas airport for several hours and theorizing a bunch of different stuff, and I really got to give him huge credits because he has helped me a ton for this final set, and he was of course the one who helped me for the draft itself and picking the mons that I currently have. So let us get into the theory. When I saw this matchup and knew that I was going to be playing Wolfe again eventually, I knew that there was one tech that I really overlooked the first time that I think could go really big into play. Now, first I want to say something about Wolfe's team. We do know that Wolfe has several potential mons with the ability Frisk, and I think he's always going to be leading Frisk to try and find my strategies. The thing I think I needed to do in order to play around that is basically kind of give him this false sense of security with the items to give him something a bit more unexpected here. So I'm going to use the items that I've used previously, however, a huge twist in mind, and that's the idea behind the combination that is going to kick things off with the Cinderace and Blastoise combination. I'm running Focus Sash Cinderace once again, which is not too surprising. It's been a huge MVP of the Draft League itself. Cinderace has been incredible for its speed and has access to really strong Pyro Balls. Sucker Punch, which is really useful for the Espafra. We're running Terra Dark just so I can be able to one-shot the Espafra in case it's necessary, as well as dodge any Illumina Crash double-ups. So there's quite a few things the Cinderace can do. But there's one thing I really want to do with Cinderace since day one, and I haven't brought it yet. So that will be the coaching set. And what does coaching do? Give the ally an attack and defense boost. And that is going to be a pretty key factor here, because I think that with this Blastoise set I'm bringing, I think it can really shine. So I really thought about this theoretically is going to be the Assault Vest Blastoise, and we're running quite a crazy Blastoise set. This is an Assault Vest set. It has really good amount of special defense, but it is a physical set to take advantage of the coaching. Because if you look at Wolf's team, the coverage on the Blastoise here is really strong. Wave Crash is able to hit really hard, especially into the Mamoswine, the Arcanine, and a bunch of other mons that he has. The Ice Spinner is great for the Trevenant as well as the Noivern. And Aqua Jet, of course, priority is super solid to have, especially since Wolf brought up multiple forms of Trick Room. Having priority on both Cinderace and Blastoise makes a ton of sense to play around no matter which form of speed control he has. And if he's able to maintain the speed advantage, I do have the priority to play around it. And then this Blastoise also, because of the information we're playing with open Terra types, Terra Grass, Terra Blast is an option I'm not sure if I'll consider, because Grass type is a normal defensive typing on the Blastoise usually, and he might not expect this Terra Grass, Terra Blast, which I'm using physical wise, to be able to potentially one-shot the Primarina after a coaching boost from the Cinderace. So that is the idea of this lead. My plan for game one, at the very least, is to lead the Cinderace and Blastoise, and hopefully Blastoise can get 2 knockouts, because it is able to tank the attacks really well on one side and really dish out the amount of damage. So that is the theory here. Then the rest of the team we're going to go over. We have this Life Up Kilowattrel. I really like the specs idea I did bring to the first time, but I didn't really get to capitalize it well. So I am going to still go with an offensive Kilowattrel, and I think it does have a lot of potential here. Now, normally it was actually Choice Specs Kilowattrel, but me and NJ were going back and forth between whether we should run Choice Specs with like a offensive move like Electro Web, or maybe even just Tailwind Speed Control, or if I was just going to run the Terra Waters Terra Blast again, because they would be able to threaten the Mamoswine. At the end of the day, I decided that at the last minute I was going to be like, okay, I think I don't need the choice specs nearly as much, because if I'm going with the plan that I think I'm going, I do have a lot of answers to Mamoswine, so I don't think the Terra Blast is absolutely necessary. I was going to always run Thunderbolt, Air Slash, and Electro Web, and I thought, you know what? That Tailwind mode I think could be really huge and impactful in the set, because allowing my Blastoise to be able to outspeed could be a really big factor, especially because there are some mons I still can't outspeed with the Electro Web, so that Tailwind might be really clutch in some endgame scenarios, especially since I plan to go with back Kilowattrel usually, at least in the game one. So we have this Tailwind, Kilowattrel with Electro Speed Control, and Thunderbolt and Air Slash to really be able to thresh a lot of damage. I'm running the Water Terra once again for the Ice Shard on the Mamoswine, as well as to bluff the Terra Blast, because maybe he'll think that I am going to be running that Water Terra Blast set like I did previously, because I imagine that Wolf did study my set that I brought to him previously. So that is the idea here. We're using information against Wolf here. So we have Annihilate as well, and this is a pretty big one. We have a Covert Cloak Annihilate, which this one, huge credits to NJ, because Covert Cloak is supposed to help out against the Lumina Crash double up, so it prevents that special defense drop that the Annihilate would take. So we would be able to take like Lumina Crash into Moonblast, assuming we go for the Terrassization, and that was the idea here. And he really was convincing me on the Phantom Force. I was debating about quite a few different moves between standard bulk up, potentially substitute, and a few different moves, but Phantom Force I think just ended up working out really well, and just being able to punish I think a lot of what Wolf can do, because he doesn't exactly have the best ghost resist. So we're going with that Phantom Force to go to protect, still a lot of turns of Tailwind, as well as the Trick Room that he might decide to go up with. And I felt like it could be a really big factor, especially since we're running the Terra Ghost set. We were already set on that before we added Phantom Force. I think it makes a ton of sense. A huge amount of special defense. We outspeed Modest Primarina, and it is able to just really tank those special attacks, dish out a good amount of damage, and we do have the coaching boost on the Cinderace. I think one of the big downfalls to the initial match that we had against Wolf was the fact that I had to take several turns with Annihilate to set up, and I wasn't actually able to capitalize the Annihilate strength. So I think what's really brilliant about this set is that I'm able to actually go for coaching with Cinderace immediately and go for the hit right away with Annihilate, instead of having to like wait a few turns, because I'm usually setting up bulk ups and being passive, which gives Wolf room to potentially outplay and maneuver against the Annihilate. So that is the idea of the Annihilate. And finally, the last two mons. Me and NJ were going back and forth between a lot of different sets. We were talking about Hydrapple. We had a Scarf Crocodile to help support the Kilowattrel, but realistically I don't think that Crocodile was that great. There are a few ground weaknesses that Wolf does have, but overall it didn't really add much to the team of where I really needed the support, I felt like. So just decide, hey, I'm gonna leave the Crocodile behind and the Hydra Apple, I just don't think it was going to really work out because, as I said before, my plan was usually going to be involving either Blastoise or sometimes Annihilate to go for the Terrastizations. So I don't think I could really afford Terrastization, even though I could run a Berry to reduce the damage the Hydra Apple takes. I have to cover for Fairy and Ice coverage, which is just way too difficult, I felt. So the final two Pokemon I think made the most sense here, which is going to be the Duosion. And I really like this Duosion set because I like the idea of Light Screen with that Assault on Blastoise, and alongside the Coaching Boost really just makes it super hard to deal with Blastoise. Like, it is really difficult for Wolf to deal with this Blastoise, and that's what I'm trying to capitalize on. We have the Trick Room and the Encore support as well, which is just really nice because if there is Tail in the speed advantage or against the speed boost with Spafford that could go out of hay, we do have this Duosion that can reverse the speed order and really support here. IV spread combination does allow me to underspeed his Hariyama, so I can outspeed it in Trick Room, which is pretty important, which is probably like the slowest mon I really care about in this matchup. So that's a big one. We're running Magic Guard just for the Glamora potentially if it is brought once again, so I don't have to really worry about the poisons, and I can switch into Ocean on the T-Spike so I can reset tempo. And Psyshock is just really nice to be able to hit Primarina a bit more difficult. I am running a good amount of special defense specifically for that Primarina, and I do have to Terra Poison because, let me just say, Moonblast does a lot of damage from an offensive Primarina, so I need to be able to have a Terra that is able to resist it. Final mon on this team is going to be the Revavroom, and I felt like Revavroom is definitely an interesting Pokemon here because it's actually pretty good into Wolf's team if set up properly. There's a lot of coverage options that I had, and there were a few sets I was considering between like Temper Flare as well as like Iron Head, and Shift Gear was always going to probably be the big one because having that speed boost on the Revavroom and just being able to get like, you know, +2 from the Shift Gear plus a coaching with +2 attack, +1 defense, +2 speed, I felt like it could be a really big monster stop. And the Shuca Berry is just really nice because with the combination of Shuca Berry and Filter, able to take attacks from like, let's say, the Mamoswine or the Earth Power from Glamora potentially, and really be able to set up. High Horsepower is really good for covering like the defensive Terra on the Primarina like Steel we saw last time, and we could see Steel or Poison again. That would be really helpful. Gunk Shot's really solid here as it's able to do a ton of damage. +2, let me just say, is able to one-shot Pokemon such as the Trevenant, which is huge. And the reason I'm running Gunk Shot here is just for the extra power in case I'm not able to set up immediately, and I will definitely take it here. I did also have Temper Flare originally over the High Horsepower, and I was also testing with Iron Head High Horsepower, but in the end I decided to go with the Gunk Shot High Horsepower because having the Terra Poison with the Gunk Shot and +1, the calcs were pretty insane, so I felt like it was pretty worth it to have this Terra Poison and the Gunk Shot calcs. And it's just a backup mode because it really depends on what Wolf decides to bring here, and I don't think I'm using Revavroom to try and KO Mamoswine, so I don't really need the Iron Head nearly as much. So this is the final squad. We are going to go against Wolf, and I have a few different plans here, but mainly I think game one is just generally going to be Cinderace plus Blastoise. I think that was the main combo of what I really want to do. Then I think the rest just really depends because I could either go with the same lead again for a different game plan. I have Cinderace plus the Annihilate with the coaching option. I have Kilowattrel plus either Cinderace, Blastoise, or Annihilate, which I think could be a really good lead if I really want to set up. And of course I could lead Duosion for the Trick Room, which I think is actually pretty fair here. So there's a lot of different leads I can go with. Cinderace plus Revavroom is also makes a lot of sense with coaching plus the Shift Gear immediately. So have a lot of options, and I think this team is a lot better than what I first initially brought into Wolf. I did explain a lot for this team, but I do think it is important to context. It's the finals. I want you to have a clear picture because I will probably be focusing more on the game itself than the commentary because I do want to try and win. And also I will note that I am literally flying home from Vegas, sleeping a bit, and then playing against Wolf immediately because we had time constraints for this final. So yes, we are going to be playing really early in the morning, and we are going to be playing and seeing how it goes. I feel the team is really good. Again, huge shout outs to NJ, been a huge factor of me in this finals match. We theorized in the airport for hours. Let's see if it's going to pay off, and hopefully we will be able to take home the title. All right, we have Noivern, Primarina, Hariyama, Trevenant, Mamoswine, and Spafford. Not like too surprising. This is pretty much what I expected. No Glamora, which is nice. Okay, how do I want to approach this? Do I want to go with the same game plan or not? I think Noivern's always being led. I think Cinderace plus Blastoise is really good as a lead still. Hariyama's a little bit scary, but I should have the tools for it. I think I'm going to do Cinderace plus Blastoise first, and then Kilowattrel Annihilate. I don't know if you're going to go to Trick Room route. I think you're going to Trick Room second game, Because you want to frisk my items for the first one, right? Yeah, I think that's always the best. I do think that Duocean has a lot of work that it can do in this set, but probably second game. Let's see if the coaching mode works with Blastoise. So Prim is Steel, the same defensive typing like before, so that's pretty solid for me. I probably should know it will have Moonblast and Hyper Voice, I imagine. It's too good into my team to not bring. Revenant's normal Terror, which is not too surprising to me. Okay. Mamoswine's Ghost, Noivern's Fire, which is interesting. And Hariyama's Steel and his Spaff for Psychic. So I'm kind of curious if Hariyama has Bullet Punch. I'd be not surprised to see Bullet Punch with how good it was the last time. Let's see how this goes. Also, Spaff for being Terra Psychic means it's probably offensive here, which is a little bit spooky, but I should be okay here. Let's find out. But yeah, if my voice sounds a bit deep, I did kind of just wake up. I landed this morning from Vegas and got some sleep, and then we're playing Wolf right away. So let's see how this goes. Whatever, Mamoswine, not surprising. Okay. No, I'm Sash, and they know I'm Assault Vest. You're either gonna Tailwind, or I'm just curious if this is Scarf Mamo, because it's Ghost Terra, so it might be Scarf Mamo. I like the idea of setting up a coaching immediately on Blastoise and Ice Spinnering the Noivern. That could be bad if they Tailwind though. I think it's still better to go for it. I'm gonna Ice Spinner. Because if I Wave Crash the Mamo, I don't think it's like that amazing. They could also protect the Mamoswine as well, which would also be fair, but we'll see. I do have Aqua Jet to Sucker Punch that could threaten the Mamoswine as well, but we'll figure it out. Oh, they retreat Mamoswine. Is this Primarina? Hariyama. Interesting. Okay, this works out really well. I get a free coaching off with Blastoise. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I could have Wave Crashed the Hariyama, I suppose, but this isn't too bad. I get a free coaching off. Okay. So now I have an attack and defense boost, which is really nice. As I go for Ice Spinner into the Noivern, I'm assuming the Hariyama's Flame Orb. Oh, it's not Flame Orb. Ooh, Assault Vest? Find out, I guess. They know I'm Sash, so the fake out into protect is a bit obvious, but I don't think I want to waste my time protecting, because if they go for fake out, I get a free attack with Blastoise, right? Or I get another free coaching. I think I like the idea of just going for an Ice Spinner again. Yeah, I think that's always the play. I think I'm going to go for Ice Spinner into the Noivern and just go for coaching again. They fake out the Blastoise? Yep. Okay. Air Slash the Cinderace, which is fine. No flinch, please. Ooh, Life Orb. Okay. Slash. Protect. And fake out. Alright, this is a pretty decent spot, I'd say. I am out of Blaze range. Yeah, I am out of Blaze range. Okay. I'm just going to keep spamming coaching, man. I don't see a reason not to just not spam coaching. You go for Ice Spinner and Noivern. I have Aqua Jet on my Blastoise. It's not too bad. They go for Terra, which is fine. Noivern? I have Aqua Jet, so Noivern's not like that big of a problem anymore. Okay. You go for Air Slash and Blastoise. That makes sense. I take that really well with my Assault Vest. No flinch, please. Although it doesn't really matter. I don't think Ice Spinner is KOing, and Aqua Jet will KO afterward. So Ice Spinner comes out. Nice. Free damage. It puts it in Thunderbolt range, which is good. Drain Punch. Okay, this is really nice. I get Kilowattrel in. I get to click T-Bolt, and I get to click Wave Crash into the Hariyama. So we go Kilowattrel here, and I think we click T-Bolt into Noivern, and we click Wave Crash into Hariyama, and we should get a KO. So let's T-Bolt the Noivern, and let's Wave Crash the Hariyama. Okay, feeling really good about this. So Life Orb Noivern's really interesting, but that's really good for me. They protect, which is cool. Because Wave Crash should KO Hariyama with ease. I wonder if I'll be in Torrent range, because if I'm in Torrent range, that would be really interesting. Okay, wave crash. Goodbye, Hariamp. That's +3 wave crash. Am I in torrent range? Torrent Aqua Jet would probably KO the Blastoise. Yeah, I am. Perfect. So this is probably Mamoswine and Primarina back, I'd have to say. Where are you going out into Prim? Am I going down to Dazzling Gleam? I should calc that. Spafra. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Spafra can be still threatening, so I gotta be careful about it. But overall, I think I'm fine. So does not even switch out into Mamo. I could Tailwind here. Tailwind's pretty safe plus Aqua Jet. Then Noivern. Does the Spafra KO me? I don't think it does. I mean, I'm just gonna Aqua Jet the Noivern, Tailwind. Yeah, because they could go out into Mamoswine. So Aqua Jet should KO. I'm in Torrent. Does that Spafra KO me is a good question. Nice. Nice. Got him. That's a huge, huge call on the Protect. Nice. Okay. Okay, Tailwind up. Nice. I feel like we're in a game-winning spot. I still have Terastallization. I think my Terastallization will always be Ape. Wyvern? I want to do a calc. This +3 Blastoise in Torrent range. AO. Spafra. Nah, but it does... Well, actually... Speed boost, right? It's a range if he has no bulk. And yeah, it's good to confirm he's speed boost. Okay. I think I should always T-Bolt the Noivern and just Aqua Jet the Spafra. Because I get guaranteed damage on the Spafra, and my Noivern's still in a good spot, and I still have Annihilate. Okay, really good game one, I think. I think we have it. Okay, Protect Noivern, not surprising. I don't even know if a Spafra can knock out my Blastoise, to be honest. Ooh, okay, no bulk as Spafra. I got a low roll, but that's fine. Lumina? Does... Oh, crit. Okay, hold on. The crit kind of mattered because I wanted to see if he was modest or... Actually, no, the crit did matter. Oh, the crit did matter. Unfortunately, I didn't have to reveal Ape. Oh, well. Can I still lose? Yeah, there is like a chance. There is a world I can lose, but he needs like a double protect with Noivern, and the Spafra needs to luck me. I go for Rage Fist into Spafra and the attack. Terra Ghost. Okay. This is to avoid Lumina Crash being super effective. I should be fine here. I have to go for a double protect with Noivern. Spafra goes for the protect. Did Noivern not go for the protect? Oh, they lose. Okay, perfect. Nice. Okay. Now I just guarantee win. Crit doesn't matter. I'm Life Orb, so I guarantee the KO on Noivern. And cool, I get to keep my Electro up tech as well. Sweet. I had a feeling he wouldn't suspect a Blastoise, and I'm really glad the Blastoise put in work, man. I had a huge theory on this Blastoise, like, putting in work, because it's really hard for him. No Primarina this game was also really interesting. Okay. Thunderbolt and Rage Fist. Perfect. Okay, game one's secured. Ooh. Also, I forgot to change the music beforehand. Okay, Lumina Crash into Illuacho. I guess he wants to confirm the ability. He is Modest Max. Yeah, he's Modest Max. Unless he Timid and got the low roll. He could have got Timid and the low roll too. Okay. He's at least Max Special Attack Modest. He's either Max Special Attack Timid or Max Special Attack Modest, I'm pretty sure. Okay, perfect. Good game one. Good game one. My plan worked out huge. The coaching was massive on the Cinderace. I assume you're going to go Trick Room route now. Yeah, I'd imagine Trick Room route comes out. If it's Trick Room route, I bring Duocean and I have Encore as a threat. Yeah, okay. Actually, wait, does he have Trick Room? Wait, the Spat for Speed Boost, so it's most likely not Trick Room, right? Which means we're playing out of Trick Room. And if we're playing out of Trick Room, wait. Or should I still bring Trick Room anyway? Because I could dominate under Trick Room. My Blastoise is pretty slow. Although Kilowatch is still really good. This is a tough decision. This is a tough decision. I did have a mix-up for the games. I'm trying to figure out whether I go for them or not. All we found out was Mamoswine just is not Sash. Oh wait, he does have Trevenant. Never mind. I'm looking at my right paste, and I'm looking at the paste that I put in the calc, and it doesn't have Trevenant available. Okay, so I think he does go Trick Room route. He's definitely bringing the Trevenant, right? So if he's bringing the Trevenant, I should always bring the Cinderace. I wish I went Ghost Terror on Cinderace. Ghost Terror would have been really nice. I think I always go Blastoise Cinderace lead. I think he's gonna lead the Trevenant plus the Hariyama, but that's fine. I think Cinderace plus Duocean back is pretty good, and I think I'll do... Do I want Annihilape or Kilowatch roll? Kilowatch was better if I... Like, here's the thing. Committing into Trick Room would be ideal here. But if they commit to Trick Room and I bring Kilowatch, it's bad. But if they don't bring Trick Room, I guess it's okay because I can Trick Room myself with Duocean. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's see if this plan works. I'm expecting Hariyama lead with, what's it called? The Trevenant. Okay, that is not what I expected. Interesting. What Spafford Terror is this again? Psychic, okay. So can coaching out of... Okay. I think I just go for coaching then, and I go for Ice Spinner. Because I'm assuming speed order is... Oh, they go for Air Slash and Cinderace. They crit me. Please don't. Okay. That's not too bad. Illumina Crash my Blastoise. That's fine. So I went for the Ice Spinner here. So they don't have speed control with the Noivern anymore. Noivern's out. All right, Noivern goes down. Beautiful. I could have got this Spafford, but I have Sucker Punch, so that's not like too bad. I wonder if they would expect Sucker Punch. Also, how much does Sucker Punch do? Marina in, not surprising. I'm curious what their last is. Does he expect Sucker Punch though? He might protect the Espafra and attack with Prim. I really don't want to commit Terra if I don't have to. I think I just Aqua Jet the Espafra and I go for Protect with Cinderace, and then I try to get Duocean in and set up the Trick Room. Or actually, do I have to set up the Trick Room? My Ape's decently fast. Let's see. He didn't protect the Spafra. Is this Lumina Crash? Ooh, Protect on Primarina. Interesting. Okay. Okay, Aqua Jet did okay. Oh, it's Trick Room. That's actually perfect. I do have my Duocean back. Okay. Interesting. So I guess I just Sucker Punch the Espafra now, and I just swap into Duocean. Yeah, that's fine. This is actually really good. I like my light screen up. Keeping Blastoise around is still really useful as well. I guess the question is, do I want to Terra Hariyama or not? Because that's a big one. I mean, Terra my Annihilate. I think it might be Hariyama back. Duosion? They probably have Dazzling Gleam, right? Ooh, Helping Hand. Good play. Okay. Gleam? Hyper Voice? Sucker Punch fails. Okay, they have Helping Hand and Trick Room. Oh, they Moonblast instead. Okay. A lot of damage, but I think I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I go for Protect with Cinderace, and I think I just go for a Light Screen. They might switch out his Spaffra into Hariyama. I could definitely see that. Okay, so we know the Spaffra moveset. It's Lumina Crash, Helping Hand, Trick Room, Protect. It should be Hyper Voice. Yeah, okay. I wonder what item the Primarina is. This is not Life Orb, so I'm kind of curious. We're going into the Blastoise here. There are two plays I could see Wolf do. Either Protect Primarina, Lumina Crash my Blastoise, or I could see them going for a Helping Hand again with Moonblast. I think I'm just going to go for Coaching, and I'm going to rip the Terra Grass into Prim. I don't know if he's expecting Terra Blast or not. But if I get this, I'm like in a really good spot. So I'm willing to risk it. Is Lumina Crash KO Ape? I don't think so. Lumina Crash does not KO Ape. Okay. Wow, that did a lot less to Ape than I thought. What? I'm doing the calc. The Lumina Crash doesn't do 50. What? Okay. Terra Grass. They didn't Terra to Prim. Oh, that's so good for me. Hyper Voice. Okay. Unfortunately, oh no, Rage Fist always KOs the Spaffra. Okay, perfect. Terra Blast. Are you Citrus? Good damage. Probably in Torrent though. It might be Fairy Feather on the thing. Okay, let's bring in Ape. I'm pretty sure Rage Fist always outgoes the Prim at this range. Yeah, there's the last turn Trick Room, right? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Let's go for Protect and let's go for Wave Crash into Spaffra. I think if it's already on my back, I'm in a decent spot, but it really does come down to the last Mon. Pretty sure Rage Fist should always KO Prim. They still have Terra though, so I gotta watch out for Wolf's Terra. Okay. Ooh, this is a... I'm sorry I'm not talking too much, but like I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Like, what can I say? I want to win. They switch out Prim. Okay. Trevenant. Oh, wait. That Pokemon's a problem. Okay. They know I'm Covert Cloak, and they know I'm Assault Vest. Well, they already knew. Well, except the Covert Cloak. The Covert Cloak's new. Wave Crash should KO a Spaffra, right? Yeah. Okay. Spaffra goes down. I wish I Rage Fist, but good play on Wolf's End. This Trevenant set is going to be a really big factor. Okay, Prim in. Trickham's over, right? Yeah, Trickham's over. Prim has to protect, right? I think so. I think I always Phantom Force the Prim slot and I Ice Spinner the Trevenant. I could Aqua Jet Rage Fist the Trevenant, but I highly doubt that KOs. I think I just Ice Spinner the Trevenant. They do protect. Yep, that's not surprising. This is good. I wonder if Aqua Jet Rage Fist would have KO'd the Trevenant. I doubt it. I'm gonna see my Trevenant in the builder. I put it for max defense. Ice Spinner does a good amount. Trick comes out. It's gonna be some Terra Calls, I think. He's always gonna double up my Blastoise. I guess it depends on the Trevenant set. The Trevenant set's really good at what sealed the game here. Rage Fist was nowhere near KOing if it's max defense, but let me see. My Blastoise Ice Spinner did 40. I don't think it's max defense. I want to Aqua Jet the Trevenant. A Terra normal, right? Yeah. Does Poltergeist KO Annihilate? That's gonna be close. I think it depends on how much attack investment he has. Oh, it does not actually. It shouldn't, unless he's some boosting item. Moonblast shouldn't KO. Oh, he crit me. Oh, if he's some setup move, this could be bad. Because if he sets up here somehow, Nightshade. Okay. By Prim. Is Nightshade his only attack, or does he just not want to reveal info? Returns to Trick Room. I'm gonna get Encore. He's Terra normal, which I did have anticipation. Does Drain Punch KO? It does KO at that range. I think I was Drain Punch here. Okay, it protects. Does this thing get Disable? Oh, please tell me this doesn't get Disable. I can feel victory, chat. I can feel victory. I can feel victory. Please tell me Trevenant doesn't get Disable. Trevenant. Oh, it does get Disable. Okay. Doesn't get Encore though, right? Yeah, okay. So I protect here. Because I can't have him disable the Drain Punch. Is it Disable? Got him. Got him. Okay, perfect. And now, once the Trick Room's over, it's looking pretty good. He's Nightshade, Disable, Protect. I guess he doesn't have Willow. I guess he's Hornleech. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this, man. I cannot believe this. The strat worked. The strat worked so well. He protects, but it's the last turn of Trick Room, so all I have to do is Drain Punch again. The thing is, I could still theoretically lose, I suppose, if I don't KO here, but I calced max defense Trevenant, Drain Punch KOs, and I'm pretty sure it's not max defense unless I high rolled with the Ice Spinner. Jubilife Piplups take the set 2-0 to take the win in the rematch against Wolfe Glick, our only loss in the Wolfey Draft League. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it, man. I was confident in the Blastoise mode, at least for game one, but I am super happy with how I prepped for this one. Again, a huge shout out to my boy NJ. We were fiending in the airport, man. Like, I came up with the Blastoise idea and I told him like this Blastoise coaching idea is like really good. He's the one who recommended the Phantom Force Covert Cloak Annihilate. Oh man, and the Kilowatt, I'm so glad we changed it because I had specs for the longest time and he was like, no, I should run Tailwind or Electro for speed control. And oh my goodness, did it work out amazingly. It worked out so well. And GG's to Wolf once again. And your Jubilife Piplups are the Wolfey Draft League Season 1 champions. let me just say it felt great. And I will say I took a nap, and that sleep was so awesome. I never felt more refreshed after that one. But I will say it is incredible that we were able to take the win. And I felt like, you know, recording this little celebration later than when I was super tired already is probably something that was probably expected, because you could probably tell that I was still waking up a bit in the morning. So really just happy that we were able to secure the win against Wolf, because that man, definitely demon time, especially in draft league. I have watched his draft leagues prior and was a huge honor to be part of the Wolfey draft league and his return to draft. And let me just say, yeah, being on the receiving end, especially in week 2, it was not looking great. So I'm really glad that I was able to give a better performance here and even take a really dominant set. I felt like I was really proud of the prep and felt that everything fell into line of the expectations that I had going into this finale. So I really want to say a few words. Number one, I really want to give a few thanks out there, because there are a lot of amazing people who support the draft. Number one, I really want to thank Wolf and Joey for organizing this, because it was an awesome event. And again, a huge honor to be a part of this draft league. Really want to give a huge thanks to them for one, creating it, and then me being invited to it was incredible. Number two, want to thank my fellow competitors, because we had an incredible roster for this draft league. It really did not feel real, and was able to play a lot of great games against really strong caliber opponents, whether they had VGC experience or they had draft league experience. It was no easy feat being able to beat those opponents. So really felt some exhilarating sets, and was amazing to accomplish what we accomplished here today. Then I also want to give a shout out to everyone who worked behind the scenes. There are a lot of people who worked behind the scenes to make this draft league an incredible experience, especially because there are a lot, from the documentations to creating the tiers that we made and the point system that we made for the Wolfey draft league, as well as the one who made the graphics and a bunch of the other background stuff. The team that is creating the video while this draft league was going on Wolfey's side. And yeah, there are a lot of awesome people. For instance, we had CB Marcus, who made a lot of the graphics that you were able to see throughout the tournament. We had Princess Autumn, who was able to make this entire spreadsheet. Hopeless was making the point system, I believe. We had Cats, who was organizing the Discord. We had so many awesome people. I'm probably forgetting them in the moment, but really there were so many people behind the scenes that were giving a huge support into creating this entire draft league possible. So huge shout outs to them, as they do deserve the praise here, as they really are the heroes behind the scenes, as well as, of course, all the viewers and people who supported the draft league. And make sure, again, if you want to see a Wolfey draft league season 2 potentially, make sure you go support the original video on Wolf's main channel. I'm excited to see how it will turn out, and you should definitely go check it out if you want to see a Wolfey draft league season 2. And maybe I'd be able to reclaim my title in that season 2 if we are able to. So make sure you go support that video as always. And let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see maybe a version of my fully edited run, because I think that would be cool, because we did really have a cinematic story, I will just say, going undefeated basically, other than the one loss, and then rematching them in the finals, as well as our semifinals, which was a week 1 rematch. Like, let me just say, I think it was cinema. I think we could make a pretty good video out of it. Maybe I could do something rushed real quick and have a good experience. So let me know if you'd be interested down below in the comments. And yeah, otherwise, for those of you who have only really followed me for the draft league, I do a lot of VGC content. I got top 10 in the world last year at the Pokemon World Championship. And yeah, like, we'll be making a lot more VGC content for champions, and maybe join a VGC draft league here and there, but I think I'll take my break. I think I'll take my break. This was an awesome experience, and I want to cherish it. So a little bit of a break here. Maybe next time, again, Wolfey draft league season 2 potentially, if that video goes well. So make sure you go support the video. And yeah, not much to say other than I also really have to give, I think, one again huge shout out to the people who really just made the Jubilife Piplups able to win this entire season, which I do have to give really huge shout outs to my boy NJ. As I said before, really helped me with the initial draft that we had here, as well as that finals match. Especially the finals match was me and him just talking in the Las Vegas airport for hours waiting for a flight. We were just talking, discussing a lot of matchup points, and a lot of them came into play, like the tailwind argument. We were talking about it, we were theorizing a bunch of different stuff, a few of the different lines that we could take, and it just really worked out. So very happy that the plan worked out. And we also have Luca as well, Luca Tregut, who was also a huge component. Also made me the one who really wanted to run Cinderace. He was super hyped on Cinderace and a few other picks of the league. And yeah, they came in so clutch. So that is going to be our Wolfey Draft League season. We are ending as the victors for your Jubilife Piplups that have taken their first ever draft league title. Want to thank everyone who believed in the Jubilife Piplups, because even at points there were times where I didn't even believe in myself. I really want to thank to everyone who was supporting the Jubilife Piplups. And yeah, maybe we'll come out of retirement sometime soon. But until then, we will be relishing our victory.